The more that I rewatch or reread Jujutsu Kaisen, the more that I start to catch on to things I've never noticed before, and I realize something. This man Yuji has got to have one of the most miserable lives ever, because he's just constantly being rage baited and mentally tortured by these two demons. Sukuna, who's literally the embodiment of a YN, and Mahito, the goat of rage baiting. These two motherfuckers are like Kobe and Shaq, Jordan and Pippen, the Splash Bros, when it comes to rage baiting Yuji and making his life miserable. So I'm gonna just talk about some notable events throughout the entire series of how these two trolls tried to push Yuji's buttons constantly, and it all started with their first ever interaction. So Yuji bursts through the school door and finds his homeboy Junpei exacting his pent-up anger from his bullies. Unbeknownst to Yuji, this man Junpei had been casually hanging out with this dude Mahito and had even showed him how to use cursed energy, and Mahito was manipulating the shit out of him. This dude was manipulating him better than a damn snow bunny. If you know, you know. Yuji then proceeds to have a little tussle with Junpei and tries to convince him to stop what he's doing and that what he is doing is wrong, which is when Mahito pops out from out of nowhere like a goddamn genie and pins Yuji to the wall. And this is where this butterfly effect of rage bait that Yuji falls into begins. Yuji then proceeds to watch one of his friends that he got close to within the past few days turn into a fucking Pokemon because of Mahito's bitch ass. And Junpei's condition couldn't be reversed, and he was permanently dead and stuck being a sad sack of shit. And with no options left, Yuji is forced to use his Joker card and attempt to call out Sukuna for his help, which he then proceeds to plead on the verge of tears to help his friend. But then Sukuna responds saying
"Man, shut your bitch ass up, nigga. Nobody asked you that a bitch ass thing."
Then Mahito and Sukuna proceed to laugh their asses off at Yuji because he couldn't do shit to save his friend. And I'm not gonna lie, having your ops laugh at you like this because of your sorry ass is actually crazy work. However, this is where Yuji took the bait and rage bait as he struck Mahito square in his jaw, hitting the Gon aura, and we see the angriest that Yuji ever was in the entire series, saying he was going to beat the shit out of Mahito and kill his bitch ass. Now, we know that these two just rage baited the shit out of Yuji, but what made it so effective? First of all, this motherfucker Sukuna just wants to see this man Yuji suffer in all different types of ways, mentally. It doesn't matter if it's rage bait or just straight up depression. If it's any type of negativity, he wants Yuji to go through that shit tenfold. Second, Mahito is like if a child in a psych ward had a baby. We already know that children are elite masters at rage baiting because they know exactly what the fuck they are doing in order to push someone's buttons to get exactly what they want, which in this case is just turning people into Pokemon and successfully rage baiting the shit out of Yuji by using and making fun of his trauma. Blend all that shit together and you got a pissed off main character who's seen and heard way too much. But because of this S tier rage bait, Mahito proceeded to get the nastiest jumping of a lifetime but barely escaped. However, this isn't the only time that these two motherfuckers rage bait the shit out of Yuji. Let's fast forward to Shibuya right after the Sukuna and Maharaga fight. The result of the fight being thousands of innocent people sliced and diced from Sukuna's domain expansion, plus a part of Shibuya just being absolutely laid to waste. And after Sukuna was done, he told Yuji
"Hey y'all, come look at this,"
and made him witness every action that Sukuna did that Yuji had no control over, which just made Yuji sick to his stomach. He for real hit Yuji with the realization of sorrow and despair, and about 10 minutes after this happened, ran down the train station just in time to get hit with even more sorrow and despair. He sees one of his mentors, Nanami, just die right in front of him because of, guess who? Mahito's bitch ass, which ultimately turns into the biggest rage bait and turns all of Yuji's suffering from the last hour into pure rage, in which Mahito continues to add more gas to the flame by mocking Yuji's screams of despair and mocking Junpei's death from the past season. And this is why I say that Sukuna and Mahito are the ultimate rage bait duo. Sukuna makes Yuji suffer through all this bullshit to damage his mental, and Mahito converts all that bullshit that Yuji suffered from from into pure hatred, causing Yuji's mental to spiral out of control because Mahito is just a straight up dickhead. Mahito is the embodiment of if Jack Doherty became a cursed spirit. Just genuinely disrespectful and annoying as shit. And what's even crazier is that Yuji's career could have ended because of falling for this fucking rage bait. When Yuji and Mahito were throwing hands, Yuji was starting to let his emotions get the best of him, especially because of Nobara getting cooked a few minutes later. But it did lead to this crazy left-right combo, I can't even lie. However, Mahito wasn't even taking this fight seriously half the time. He was chewing the shit out of Yuji, laughing and shit throughout their entire fight, and even trying to kiss this motherfucker. Hey, yo, if it weren't for Toto's big bro ass coming out of nowhere and telling Yuji, hey, yo, bro, you gotta stop falling for that rage bait and lock the fuck in. Yuji might have been cooked, I can't even lie. Anyways, that's gonna be it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like and comment down below on what anime you'd like me to make a video on next, and I'll see y'all in the next one. We out this hoe.